Hello and welcome, my Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your work, career, and vocation read for November and December 2020. I am your reader, Markangela Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, Pisces Moon. The Archangel of Lyons, Angela Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hi, my fishy families. Hello. My fishies, my Piscean friends and family, my subscribers, my friends, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for coming to your work, career, and vocation read. Last read of the series, I took some time off, went to Saratoga, got my car serviced, looking at him right now, Dorian, because he's gray, my RAV4, I love him so much. Saw my mom, saw my stepfather, Hera and Zeus as I call them, my new little brother, Jojo Giovanni, the Himalayan kitty cat, the little fur potato, who's the sweetest thing ever, little Leo, God help us all. I had a lovely time. Went to Magic Moon in Saratoga, picked up a new Oracle deck. I'll be debuting in the next reading that I do probably for the full moon to new moon next reads that I'll be doing after this series, starting to either later tonight or tomorrow. So I'm back at work, and I'm very happy to be here in a full-on professional intuitive capacity, particularly for my fishy family, my Pisces. If you're new to my channel, please do consider liking and subscribing and commenting and hitting the notification bell and all of the other wonderful YouTubey things you could do to help out my channel, because I'm shooting for 30,000 subscribers. I'm well aware I'm not at 2,000 yet, but I'm a Virgo. And I got plans, right? I want the membership function. I want that join button so that we can do like private members only live stream stuff and content that wouldn't otherwise float or get monetized on YouTube, right? More of the tantric readings, that kind of stuff that I'm very good at in general, let's just say. So if you are interested, and if you do like the video, please thumbs up. Helps people see stuff like the video. You like me? Subscribe. I'm a lot of fun and I'm good at what I do. 52 years old, been reading tarot since I'm 12. Do the math. It's a long time. Repetition is the mother of skill. Thank you, Tony Robbins. I would still climb him like a mountain if he wasn't married with kids. But anyway, on to this reading in terms of work, career, and vocation. 3 levels of power, 8 chakras. I'll explain it as I go. 9 cards, 3 Carolyn Myss archetypes to look at the different archetypal dynamics in your work, career, and vocation. They're not the same thing. We'll explain that as we go. 3 Daughters of the Moon Tarot to clarify those of what your experience is of that in the world behind your eyes, right? Your own personal experience. 3 Mythic Tarot to look at what that all looks like on the outside, right? So we've got the archetypal, we've got the feminine, we've got the masculine, the yin, the yang. Let's do this. Please keep in mind, it is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and of course check your other signs. Your moon sign is going to get different info than your sun sign, even if it's about the same work, career, and vocation situation, or different angles of the creative experience. Life purposey kind of stuff, right? 3 levels of power. We're looking at work in terms of how you survive. Lower 3 chakras, right? Root, sacrum, solar plexus, your career, your passion, what you hunger and your thirst for, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, that creative power within you, right? And your vocation, 8th chakra, your higher calling, and you get all those in alignment. It's a pretty amazing experience. I have all 3 in alignment, actually. My work is as a president and an administrator. I don't get paid for that. That's all the phone calls and, I don't have an assistant. It's all just me doing this, right? The production aspect of it. My career is as a teacher and a healer and an intuitive and a speaker and all that stuff. It's my passion. I'd be dead without it. And my vocation is as a mystic, which keeps me in a very intimate relationship with the divine on a daily basis that fuels me to do this. See how you just bring all those chakras in alignment, so to speak. So let's get up into it. Focus on your breath. I will do the same. All the decks that I read are in the bottom of the description box with all sorts of cool, interesting stuff to look at and check out on the way down there. Otherwise, let's just get up in this gig. I love you. Let's do this. Breathe. And relax. They just said, and relax. And relax. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, I need 3 cards in clarity. The archetypal dynamics for the work, career, and vocation of the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, please. First, work. Lower 3 chakras. Root, sacrum, solar plexus, survival intuition, how they survive in the physical world, November, December 2020, their career, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, their passion, their hunger, their thirst, their interior world, their career, what's the archetypal dynamic at work there, and their calling, that 8th chakra, that soul star, calling them forward, ever forward on their vocation, please, what's their archetypal dynamic there, in their vocation, November and December 2020. Now, it's November and December. These are 2-month reads because these things take time, right? So keep in mind before I even look at these cards can be triggering. They have both shadow and light attributes. The shadow is what you don't want to look at. The light is what you're headed for, right? And your work, career, and vocation, really, if you want to boil it down, is all about refining these soul powers that you incarnated to work. And wow, what a combo you've got. The first one's going to be tricky. The second two depends on where you stand on them. Remember that no matter how dark an archetype sounds, its light is just as bright, as well as vice versa. In your career situation, you are dealing with a martyr archetype, either yours or someone else's. Now, no one wants to deal with the martyr. I get it. I get pain in the ass, get down off that cross, someone needs the wood. But the light side of this is so magnificent, but you'll recognize the shadow, right? Addiction to self-pity. Are you dealing with a person who is addicted to self-pity? And do keep in mind, emotions have biological components to them. So it is very easily to become chemically addicted to an emotional state. What the bleep do we know? Watch it. You can find it on YouTube for free, I think. Yeah, particularly the wedding reception, the wedding reception scene, if you know what I mean. The polka. That whole scene's really good. Very, very well done. And really explains the biology of emotions, the biochemistry of emotion. So addiction to self-pity, but in the light, what do you get this? This is, by the way, a divine family archetype. This is a really big deal. The light attribute, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause, right? That's why the transcendent nature, our martyr here, is flying through the air, transcendent, with roses like surrounding him, thrown out like the roses of victory, right? To overcome something. But the transcendent nature of service. So this could be in an industry. A lot of services are martyring right now. Oh, well, with 2020 and the P word with the C word. Wow, that's totally other conversation that could be translated, but you know what I'm talking about, my friends, right? That could be going on in your industry, in your field, so to speak. Very tribal, lower 3 chakras, particularly the root chakras, tribal dynamic. But if this is you, understand that. Totally understandable. But when we get to the second level of power, I think you're going to get this isn't you. Well, at least not in the shadow so much, but in that light, right? You're learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause because you've got the advocate archetype in your career. So your passion, your mental hunger and emotional thirst is quenched, at least at this point in your career, by advocacy. The shadow attribute, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. I think we've seen just about enough of that in 2020 and before. But yeah, like the light is what you're shooting for here, inspires you to put compassion into action. It's an action family archetype in your career. So I could see, please, the advocate and the martyr, they go really well together if they're healthy. Otherwise, resorting to negative causes, perhaps violence in the name of a cause, with an addiction to self-pity, ooh, that would burn down the village. You might be dealing with that, like I said, with somebody in the outside world or in an industry itself, in a career field itself, that there's that martyrdom. So advocating for it might be tricky. How do you put your compassion into action? Doesn't that make sense? Right? As hard as this is in the lower 3 chakras, you have the opportunity for massive alchemy. Through action within your own career. It's a beautiful thing. Now, here's the one that's really interesting. We've got the witch archetype in the vocation position. Now, if you're not a literal witch like I am, I'm a literal witch. It's how I self-identify. I was high priest. I went through traditional training, all of that. I'm back to being an eclectic. Thank God. Right? Let me swim in the depths and wherever I feel like going in all of the oceans and seas and rivers, as long as it's not fresh water, because, I'm a saltwater fish, Pisces moon. So you can see there's no illustration on this card. It just says the word witch at the top, because this is one of those blank cards that Caroline Myss included in the deck, because you can't have a deck with every single archetype in it, because there are still new ones being developed, and I'd need one of those bingo things to pull the card, right? It'd be a hopper. a Dennis Hopper, to pull the cards. Now, the witch archetype in the crown, in the 8th chakra, ain't no joke. That's dealing with the ancestors. That's dealing with the gods. That's dealing with spirit and pure high vibrational stuff here. But the shadow side of the witch and the light side of the witch, it's all about using your wisdom for weal or for woe, right? To heal or to harm, right? To curse or to bless. Though at the end of the day, from the quantum perspective, some of our worst curses have been our greatest blessings and vice versa, right? It's all about how you want to see it. So how, like, are you a magic user? Oh my God, that's so Dungeons and Dragons. It just flew out of, whoa, from 8th grade. That one came out of magic user. You know, but what is your connection as a manifester, right? Like the witch is one who takes fire, earth, air, water, and aligns it with spirit and brings it into form, which is what your work, career, and vocation is about. Spirit being the 8th chakra, right? The air, the fire, the water being in that middle zone, as well as overlapping into the lower 3 chakras with water and earth into physical manifestation, 8th all the way down into root chakra. So your wisdom, now look, we know what the wicked witch is, the shadow witch, I shouldn't say he. Witch is a gender neutral term, by the way. Let me teach for a second. I'm not a warlock. I don't like the word. Some people claim it. That's fine. To each their own. Live and let live, fairly take and fairly give. Wiccan read, poetic version, Doreen Valiente. My take on it is that no, witch is gender neutral, right? Like Christian or like Democrat or Republican, you know. So how are you using your spiritual wisdom, right? Your spiritual power. Now, look, with the advocate and the martyr, I don't feel like you're doing any sneaky shadow shitty work. You're not shitting on people magically. But I feel like there is great power coming into you, and it is very connected to the feminine energy of the witch to me in this sense that this is in the 8th chakra. So we're looking at something not just spiritual, but mystical. And what do witches do? They change things. She changes everything she touches, and everything she touches changes. You with me? Let's see what's on top of that. Or I should say within that is another way to say that. Daughters of the Moon Tarot, particularly with that witch card, should be interesting. I love this deck. Breathe. For the goddesses of water and the sign of Pisces, the 3 that share the triple throne of Pisces, one this way, one that way. Artemis, the Amazon, Diana, the mother, and Circe, the sorceress, enchantress, femme fatale. Please. 3 cards in clarity for this Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. And this could easily be me, by the way, looking on the table. I mean, the martyr, I mean, they're suffering. This president that goes there every day, right? Transcendent nature, service to oneself or others, right? And that advocate, putting compassion into action. I do it every day to the best that I can. And with that witch, and yeah, I can relate to this one. So let's see what's going on. Please, my goddesses. I'll say we have the martyr archetype in the work position, lower 3 chakras, root, sacrum, solar plexus. What's going on? What's the internal aspect there? Face down. The advocate, heart, third eye, and crown. Putting compassion into action. What's that like in our career? That internal world, that passion perhaps for advocacy. And with that witch in the 8th chakra in terms of vocation and spiritual calling, what's going on there in the yin and the inside? What's inspiring or influencing or transforming there with that witch archetype in alchemy, from lead to gold, from shadow to light? It's definitely about using your power wisely. There's no question about that. The craft is just that. It is a craft. It is a practice. Now, you can apply that to so many different things spiritually in the 8th chakra, right? Whether it's meditation or whatever. But the witch is a job title. I've always said that. It's like a position. It's like shaman, but not. A lot of overlap, but not. So whatever it is, your spiritual practices, it's key in this, or your magical practice, or however you want to look at that. All right, enough. Let's see. What? Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so the martyr, luckily you have the Ace of Flames. The Ace of Flames, the Ace of Wands. So there's inspiration here, and it's probably inside you're feeling inspired. It's like, I can do it, right? It's like, I'm not addicted to self-pity. I'm experiencing learning perhaps in a brand new way, with a brand new passion and a brand new desire, the transcendent nature of service. beautiful. Nothing else to say about that except that in the physical form, there's a new opportunity to do this, right? You might be suffering. You might be carrying a little self-pity because it's been a rough year. Who the hell isn't? Well, some people, I'm sure. But what I love here is with the Advocate, you've got the Witch, right? So you've got the Witch word twice, literally on the table in letters, right? Written in words. This is the Magician card in this deck. So obviously this is about really being a channel of compassion into form, right? Putting compassion into action. I mean, you could be doing a lot of long distance stuff. You might not even need to leave your house with that kind of thing because it's in the, what Carolyn Myss calls the heart, the third eye, and the crown, that second level of power, the alchemical laboratory, right? So it's like potion work in your own chakras there. And that compassion absolutely needs to be for you as well. Putting particularly in that seven level power of the world behind yours, to be compassionate. And to me, the most simplest words of compassion I offer to those chakras as well as others, it's okay. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to think this way. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be excited. It's okay to not know. It's okay to not know in 2020 what the hell is going to happen next. I just learned this from Matt Kahn, his project resolution, mattcahn.org. It's a free call he makes on his website the first Thursday of the month. I don't need to know what's going to happen to know I am supported. Boom. Right? It's more than an affirmation. That's a mantra. That's a truth. And I don't, uncertainty, there's peace and uncertainty when I let it guide me, right? You're definitely channeling something really interesting into form, because what's this witch archetype in your 8th chakra, you've got the card of oppression, the devil card. Well, two of the devil cards in this deck. Fiona Morgan divided it up, but this is really those chains that you see around the necks of the little demonettes, I guess, demoninis. In the traditional devil card here, you see a woman buried under rocks, but the rocks are faces, right? You see her little feetsies there. Oh, she wearing flats. I think she might be wearing flats. Who wears heels under rocks? I'll have heels on the rocks. You know, like just oppressed, beaten, broken, battered. I wouldn't say dead, because these are often the opinions of other people, the social norms, the conditioning that we carry with us, the chains that bind us. Perhaps from unleashing our power. So we're looking at I mean, I hate to say it this way, we'll see what it looks like with the next 3 cards down. But this does catch a whiff of a witch in chains, right? That kind of power, that kind of wisdom that is chained perhaps by spiritual mores, things that have been picked up about the divine, 8th chakra stuff, right? The fear of the mystery of the divine, of the obliteration of the ego, which the ego doesn't get obliterated, it gets integrated. It dissolves and is integrated, like Alka-Seltzer into water. Woo! You Pisces, we are not kidding around. So I'm taking that well to heart. I'm gonna really personally look at that. It's like, where is my witch self, my wise self feeling oppressed or held back? Now again, that's 8th chakra. If it was in the 1st chakra, that would really be more about the physical stuff going on in the outside world. Or even if it was in that's the career, right? It would be about oppression of the mental, emotional. This is about spiritual power. I wonder what this is about. Really, comment. I want to know, particularly if you identify as a witch, what is that about? And let's see what it looks like on the outside. Breathe. Yeah, no joke. My gods of water and the sign of Pisces, please, I need 3 cards in clarity for the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in their work, career, vocation, November and December 2020, please. The Martyr in the work position, lower 3 chakras, with the card of creation. Like, I feel that. I feel that determination. That's like, oh, a new thing. Let's do this. I don't care what it takes. I want to serve. I want to do this. What's that look like on the outside? And I can very much relate to that. I wouldn't associate it immediately with the Martyr archetype, but it is a divine family archetype. The Advocate in the career, my gods, with the Witch on top of it. That's some serious divine power in play there. Oh, I think I get what that's about, that 3rd one. Okay, cool. So please, what does this look like on the outside? We're going to look at these all together in a minute. I'm just putting them face down. And for that 8th chakra, the vocation, we've got the witch with oppression. And please, the oppression of the divine feminine, I don't want to go there right now. It's so socio-political, but I feel like there might be a part of that in here somewhere. So please, what does this look like on the outside, my gods, for the Piscean collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs. Well, 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 there we are. You got a lot of major arcana, right? Out of 6 tarot, 1, 2, 3, 4 are major arcana. With the Martyr, with the Ace of Flames, you've got the Death card. Now, this is Hades. He's one of my gods. He's a sweetheart. He's a sweetheart. He's the god of wealth, all of that underground wealth and wisdom, right? Talk about daddy. Oof. We are looking at a major transformation here in your world, of going to ashes and then rising from. Where you are in that process, I'm in the rising from, but the world has transformed. So maybe because of what's going on, I don't know that this is literal physical death, but it's 2020. You take that as it resonates to you, because there's too many ways to go there, too many quantum threads, like fiber optic threads going in every direction on that one, and the probabilities of the quantum. But there is a service here that you're taking up the torch, you're taking up that spark, that creation, that creative energy, moving forward, maybe rising from the ashes inside, because the ashes are going on the outside, or the fire of the crucible transforming everything, right? In terms of your work, it could very well be that, again, your work field is suffering. And I don't mean just yours. I mean like your industry, like airlines, like restaurants, right? And so there's this new inspiration coming, but with that card of the Martyr, you have to really keep your eye, not repress, but keep your eye on that self-pity part of it, because if you are an empath, as so many Pisceans are, it's not on your own. You're feeling your own too. It's part of the healing collective. Hence, here we go, moving into your career, the Advocate with the Witch archetype with the Queen of Swords, the Aquarius card. Now, I think this represents you on the outside being very egalitarian, very compassionate, very humanistic, very humanitarian, but from a place of sky, distance, seeing the larger picture. I think you are empathing on other people's stuff as they're not being destroyed. There are other cards that could say that in these decks that I'm using. They're being transformed. I mean, look, I used to teach in front of people. Like, go back and look at my back catalog on YouTube. For years, all I put on this channel before I started doing readings here were the lectures and the workshops that I did. Snippets of this and snippets of that and vlogs and stuff, right? Then I started doing readings over a year ago. Well, my whole career has changed. Now I work from home all the time. I love it. Well, not on camera, but I don't have an OnlyFans account, and I don't plan on it, although you never know. I've got the bod for it at 52. I can pull it off. Daddy, silver daddy stuff. Won't say the P word. Do you get it? So there's something intellectual about this. There's an ability to pull up into the stratosphere and see this larger picture and really channel divine power and grace. But now here's the funny part. Well, if I want to call it funny, remember, you got the witch that's oppressed in some way, chains of pain, illusion, delusion. You got the Wheel of Fortune. It's a necessary rite of passage. It's that, if you like, you could say that, yes, there are fears in place that are about conditioning and other people's ideas. And now, look, if you're a witch in the broom closet, I get it, right? It's like, but no one needs to know that. This is really more about you confronting the divine and knowing that it's time, right? It's the fates, that this is written. This is all part of the destiny, all part of the divine plan, written into the script before you were even chosen to incarnate into this life. Right? So your vocation right now is key about taking the time. It's just a divine timing thing. It's like a time release mechanism that these fears, these beliefs, these conditionings, whatever you want to call them, these patterns, these fears, sort of like a time release mechanism so that you wouldn't kind of do this until it's time. But guess what? It's time, or it's damn close to. So you might want to connect in with the feelings of that martyr and self-pity, in the sense that it's going to kind of tap you into what you are picking up from the collective. 12th house, Pisces, the collective unconscious. We have all the signs of the zodiac in us. And I'm a moon, so that's what I'm fucking empathic. I can feel all 12 signs, no matter where I am or who's around me, right? So there's a great wisdom here. That you are alchemizing things just by feeling it, right? But to do it from a more esoterically placed, philosophical, humanitarian, egalitarian, Aquarian deal of saying, as I heal, may all heal. It's really great. We put it all together. So you got the witch, who's in chains, but temporarily. It's time for those chains to break in the 8th chakra as it comes down through the crown, the third eye, the throat, and the heart, really putting compassion into action in a very humanitarian, friendly way on the outside, coming down into form here, that regardless of the transformations going on in the physical world, new inspiration is here, and you are certainly willing to experience and learn the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. And I feel like it's both of those things. I feel like there is no separation here for you, my Pisces, in terms of serving yourself, doing what's wisely and well, and serving a cause, maybe even the emotional transformation of fear, of chains of fear, not just for yourself, but for the quantum field, meaning all of life. So may the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need to heal, to grow, to learn, to heal themselves, to fulfill their vocation, their career, their passion, their work, their service in the world, and experience that transcendent nature with great compassion put into action as the wheel turns in their favor, upgrading, growing them and evolving them for their well-being and for the well-being of all. So motivate. I'll have what they're having. Such a pleasure reading for you, my fishy family. Again, if you're new, if this clicked, just hit that thumbs up. Do me a fave, right? Do me a fave, hit that thumb up, fave the shoe. Just kind of hit the thumbs up if you like me, because why not? I'm cute, and I'm funny, and I'm skilled. Hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and comment. I want to know, who's martyring here? What's this death card about? Right, my Pisceans, I can guess what it's about in my life, but maybe some of your feedback would give me some puzzle pieces too. So please comment, comment, comment. Otherwise, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed in your work, career, vocation. End of the series. Always, darling, sometimes sometimes the snow comes down in June, sometimes the sun goes around the moon. Just when you thought our chance had passed, I went and saved the best for last. I love you, my Mer family, my fishies. Wishing you all the very best and the very blessed of all of this. Happy Thanksgiving wherever you are. I'm grateful for you. Hail. Farewell, my darlings, and blessed, blessed be.